Welcome to another Sabbath walk with me and my partner in crime. We're continuing on off from the spring where I've walked before on a previous week, and my screen is a little, the light shining off of it. We're just continuing up the road here. I think it's an interesting enough walk. Take your time, lots of asters on the side here that will turn into hitchhikers. They get little seeds that have two little spikes on them and stick in your pants and stay there. And you pick up lots of them. Not as bad as burdocks, but you get lots of them. And walking along here, I'm just going to have Wesley to drop back here because there is something I want to focus on as far as the trees goes. That's some big trees up here. These are ash. There's a grove of them here along the side. Substantial grove of ash. As a species, they're under siege from emerald ash borer, which is an invasive species. I haven't seen any signs of it here yet, but this is the only grove of ash trees in the entire area. And there are a few sprinkled on the other side here that are young. Oh, there's an apple tree there. I didn't know that that was an apple tree. Right on the side here, there are apples hanging from it. Those are from the original settlers. They planted a lot of apple trees around here, and of course there's a few volunteers that grew in their place. We're still going along the hydro wires here. These of course are not currently connected to anything. Discuss that a little further up there. There's a row of trees coming up on the side there. The spruce trees, or the evergreen trees that you see up ahead, there's a row of them. Every once in a while one of them falls over in a storm, and the hydro people didn't want to keep coming back here because it gets very muddy and very impassable in the winter unless you have a special vehicle for it. Generally this is snowmobile trail out here. You can see the line is down there, and that's from trees falling on it. There are two that went down in that row, and there's a lot of them. And yeah, they could hook it back up again someday, but that would require the abandoned farmhouse in the back there to be reoccupied. Otherwise, there's no real reason to. I imagine hooking the wires back up over the river is a bit more of an adventure because they're down there as well. We're not going to walk all the way down there. I'm just getting a video made here. We'll walk as far as we dare, or as far until I run out of my minutes here. You can see one of the trees that went down here. It was just cut so that it would keep people able to use the road. A lot of dead branches on the bottom here. You can see there's a lot of these trees, and up ahead you can see the broken top of another one that went down. That's the one that finished the line off. When that one went down, that's when they decided to cut it after our place. And you see pin cherries growing on the side here, along with alders and birch, and the same thing you've seen for the rest of my videos. There's a little driveway here. There is a small camp unused back in there, along with a little barn that used to hold a custom 50 tractor, or what was left of it. That was dragged off. Somebody's going to restore it. Interesting bit of trivia there. I've gone in there. That is where the old Polly farm was. The farmhouse of course is gone, and they put a small hunt camp in its place, which some troublemaker came by and broke into with a chainsaw, cutting around the lock with it. Made a real mess. Very discouraged for anybody who owns something like that in the back here, where they can't be here all the time. It's one of the reasons why the cottage owners in the back here put video surveillance up that sends a signal out to their phone, so they're able to view it at any time. It's a little frustrating. Somebody breaks in and steals all your stuff, or vandalizes your stuff. It's not a very nice feeling to come and find that. It was bad enough that one of the guys had a snowmobile stolen during the winter. We're walking along here. We're approaching the last farmer's field before you go in real deep on this site. The farmer will drive in this far and get hay off this field. The field, I believe, belongs to the abandoned farmhouse. And the person who owns that is the one who uses the field, as far as I know. But you'll see the lines there across the road, and then they don't continue along this road. They go across the field. And we look like we've got time to look down there.
It looks like the lines have fallen there too.
Oh, there's lines down all over the place on this. They don't do anything to maintain it.
Yeah.
And they're not planning to. Oh, there's another apple tree there. Some good size apples on that one.
Because they used to go until the river. Those look like they're completely down.
Yeah, it looks like they're... Well, there's that tree that fell in the corner here, but that didn't hit the line, did it?
Yeah, it didn't. Might have been cut.
That we skirt this big mud puddle that you can see from space.
Well, we'll know soon as we get...
And I just really mudded up my shoe. Just a second. And this is the field I was talking about. See Wesley walking ahead of me. And if you look in the corner, I'm not sure if I've got the resolution for you to be able to see it.
Yeah, these wires look like they've been cut.
Yeah, they're cut. They're not even attached there. Okay, you see the poles going across the field there. If you look real close through the trees, I can see it in the viewfinder on here, so maybe it's going to show up on the video. You can see the peak of the roof of that abandoned house. That house is in good shape. It could be reoccupied. I'm sure if they made an effort, they could fix it up enough for that. We're just making our way down the field here. Just scan along, get a look at Wesley. Just give you an idea how big it is.
Yeah.
Not sure how many acres it is. But they pull a crop or two or hay off of this every year. And as you can see, other trees went down here as well. The spruce are not rooted very deeply, and neither are some of the other trees. So a good strong wind, like a Hurricane Dorian or something else. We get a windstorm, there's a good chance that some of these trees will go down. This really big one is one that would concern me.
They just swept these wires off to the side here.
Hey, that's all, yeah, that's all apple there as well. I know there's a good grove of apple trees in by the Polly farmstead. And this field might have belonged to them previously. But as far as I know, it's worked out of that abandoned farmhouse that maybe you could have seen, maybe you can't. I won't know until I see the actual video. I don't know if I've got the resolution to see that. Yeah, another big one went down there. See all the roots up. Is that one still green? If it's still green, it went down in the hurricane.
That's old.
Yeah, I know, that's kind of a massive one, but as you can see, it's not rooted deeply.
Look at all the rocks in here.
Yeah.
Those are some gigantic rocks.
Yeah, there's some big rocks in there. That tree, is it green? What's it? Well, part of it's green. Yeah, it's all green. I can see green on it. So this went down with Dorian coming through here.
Yeah.
Wow. That really peeled up a lot there.
This is the biggest one. Well, it's 2 trees.
Yeah, it's 2 trees, but yeah, that's quite the hole.
Alright, grab one of these rocks.
Big rocks.
Can't pick up any of the real big ones.
Okay, that's kind of cool. They're right on the edge of the field here, but you can see the wind from Dorian was coming from the north here. for part of the storm, and that would have been right bearing down on this. And these trees don't have that much support from forest being behind it. As you can see, what's there is short, because there's kind of a more empty spot here going towards the Poly farmhouse area where it was standing. I know, because I've wandered around in the bush here. There's really not a lot of trees living there. But yeah, that's kind of cool. And we've just hit 10 minutes, so I'm not going to drag this on any longer. We'll have something else to talk about another day. You can see the dead trees there. That's kind of what our property looked like when we first got here. We cut the dead trees, all went up our chimney. Anyway, my son and partner in crime here, Wesley, his channel is Amy2. Okay, if you like this video, he does this pretty regularly, a walking vlog. And, you know, go ahead and take a look at his stuff and give him the thumbs up and share him and become a follower. Subscribe, that's it, I was forgetting the word. And do the same for me and my main site, which is MFCP Woodworking, which I will get to some videos soon on that, as soon as we get done this little chalet we're working on. Anyway, thanks for listening. Don't forget, time flies whether you're having fun or not.